we move to our code and starting migration. So we come to the code, everything. Then we need to set up a db context, that is now create another folder directory for db context, for context, and add a class application db context. No need, clean, and using the latest architecture of .NET. Okay, so remove the line. Okay, so we need db context. So if I write postgres ASP.NET core, then yeah, npg sql entity framework core, this library needed to work our work. So we add it postgres sql, sorry, in our code, NuGet, paste this postgres. Yeah, you see the no npg sql entity framework core, we added this in our dll and also our api. So add in our api. Okay, and we also need another package for Microsoft ASP.NET Core Design, that is Microsoft sft dot entity framework core, entity framework core dot Microsoft Entity Framework Code Design. This library we added in our API project. Okay, so without this library you cannot run any migration. So now, and how to edit this and db context. So need to inherit from the db context. So inherit from db context, import Microsoft Entity Framework Core, and alter insert constructor, and need to provide this db context. Okay, so we need some model. So I create a directory models. For now I am adding a single model, that is class, that is department. Okay, for prob integer id, prob string name, prob string code, department name and code. Okay, very simple for our understanding. So need to add prob db set department departments. Okay, so our application db context is done. It's not error because I am using the latest version of namespacing, that because it's showing some error. Okay, so I save this file and close this, and in our, you see now the ASP.NET 6 has no startup file, and you need to set up everything in program.cs file. Okay, so you need to add the dependency, and if I close this and going there, and you see you need to set up add db context in your configuration service. So now the configuration service is not present, that cause we are coming to our this also not needed, don't save. and this command also not needed. Okay, so we refactor something. So now you can edit every services at the builder dot services is capitalized. Okay, so our db context is application db context and use NoSQL. Application db context is come from reference dll, and you get also configuration from the configuration dot and get connection string, and we need to provide the connection string information, that is default connection and default connection. Okay, so we set up it. Okay, so now in our app settings development file, we need to set up our connection string. Yeah, you see the connection string, that is default connection, and if you go their documentation and you see their setup is host and blah 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 password. Okay, so I copy this and paste this. Okay, host name is localhost and database is, suppose I write university db, username postgres, and password is, the password is about 007. Okay, so our database setup is done and our configuration is done. Now we need to write the migration. Okay, so application db context for the issue, the type of namespace name application could not be found, you must missing directory assembly. So the issue is the air university db context. If I copy this and in our program and write using and paste it, no declaration. So why the issue? If I go to the old style and cut this line from here, and I think that time the issue is solved. Yeah, university. Okay, so some days later the editor is updated, then I think the problem also gone. So running successfully, not any issue is present there. So now we need to run migration, but we are writing migration using the .NET EF command. You see .NET EF is a tool, EF code tool for writing something. So if the tool is not present in your machine, then you need to run this command to install the migration. And if you check the EF command is present or not, then in your code editor and inside the terminal, if you write this .NET EF and you see your version is my version is 6.0.0, that is updated version. Okay, so everything is perfect. Now we need to write the migration. So I write again VS code, so writing the migration properly. So I open there and open this editor also for getting the information of a project, some name. So need to write .NET EF migrations, add initial migration. If you are developing using the multi-project, then you need to write this way: hyphen project. My project name is that is, yeah, it's our project name. I need to rename and copy this and write there project, and need to provide the startup project also. So I condition it and hyphen start up project. Startup project is, and this project is present src folder. So I write startup project. Startup project is my API project. Okay, so I also need to rename and copy it and also paste it and src folder slash. Okay, so this for add migration. I also set up for our .NET EF database update hyphen, and this setup also need for this portion also, and need another command for if you want to generate a script file. That time you need .NET EF migrations script script. Then you also need the project and the startup project, and write this, and also hyphen o for our output, and I write the file is SQL. So before add this all this information in our offset file of the readme file, first we need to run this command. And if you want to check something, if migration is working or not, yeah, you see the migration and our version also upgraded. If I go to the DLL folder, you see the migration folder is generated. Now I need to update the database. I copy it and paste this line. You see database update successfully. Our database name is university db. If I go there and my server database, and you see the university db present, and in the schemas and inside the public table, and you see the department table also present. If you write first 100 row, and you see ID, name and text also present there. Now our migration is done, and now we need to update some readme file. So that is very helpful for us. Slash migration command that type of document help you to write better coding. Okay, structural coding, and no need to all time searching. Okay, so that cause I always prefer to you to write the structural coding pattern and always maintain a structure. Okay, so my add new migration command, update database command, migrations update database command. And now I copy this command, and you see our documentation also generating step by step. You think you are coming to learn ASP.NET Core 6, but I am writing is unnecessary work. But this unnecessary work in future that reduce your huge time. Okay, migration script generate the command. Then I copy this command and cross this. Before crossing, I write this command B. Okay, so now I save this and git status git add dot git commit -m our migration and its related related document done. If I push git push origin main, okay, so update it, and also don't save, cross this. If I go to browser, yeah, and another fantastic documentation also generated. Okay, so that portion we understand how to write our migration in ASP.NET Core 6 and what type of command is needed. Okay, bye bye.